And for the first time, the MENA region and Pakistan eclipsed the European market when it comes to the adoption of emerging payment methods, according to your company's most recent research report. For those living outside of the region, can you provide some color and context for how important this region is to the global digital economy? And how is the future of digital finance unfolding differently here? And what does that mean for businesses everywhere?
So, I mean, one of the things we see here in the Middle East, and especially here in Saudi, is that the governments are very aligned to digitize the world in the interactions between government services and their population. This morning I was with the leadership of Takamo, which actually is a very important organization here. They have 28 different services that they basically offer to the population and to the economy in general, and everything is digital. And so if you put a younger population, a government that has a true willingness to digitize the economy, you put a very high mobile phone penetration, you have all the right ingredients to having a very thriving economy in terms of e-commerce. I think one of the other things that is very specific to this region and this part of the world is that cash is still very important. So you have the right population, and you have a population that is, again, not going to consume how their parents were necessarily consuming, and so it creates a huge swell of growth in terms of e-commerce adoption.
That is such an important point that all of us should take note of. And despite the market recent activity, the cryptocurrency market as a whole is now valued at about $1.6 trillion as of about a week or so ago. And it's becoming clear that whatever happens in the short term in the markets, crypto is going to be a fundamental part of the digital economy's future. What role will it play when it comes to creating new opportunities, new types of experiences, and new business models? And how will your company make these opportunities real for your customers?
So I've been quite outspoken about this. I'm a big believer, not necessarily in crypto, which is an umbrella term that means everything from NFTs to digital currencies. I like blockchain. I like the technology that underpins everything, because Checkout.com is a technology-first company. Nearly 2/3 of the company, of the 2,000 employees, are product and engineers. I'm a product person by formation, so that's what I really like doing. And so when you have a new technology for financial services and you're a fintech company, by definition, intellectual curiosity makes you want to study it. To answer your question, the world of crypto or digital currencies needs today regulation. I think this is commonly agreed. It is important. I think regulators all around the world are considering how they're going to tackle that. It's an extremely dynamic market that has, like you mentioned, locked $1.6 trillion of value in various currencies, some stable coins, CBDCs, the standard BTC or ETH. And the way I look at it is that if the technology is, if we look at the world how it is today in terms of fintech, you have all the neobanks, fintech companies that have basically done some of the banking services and have managed to garner millions of customers. Here, notoriously, we invested $110 million last year in Tomorrow, which is a fast-growing buy now, pay later. They have 1.1 million users here in Saudi, which they built in a year or so, 16 months, I'd say, to be precise. And then you have all this kind of blockchain, DeFi technology, which is a better way to do finance, but which is today unregulated. I think the moment the regulation will come in, when there will be a clear framework, what you will see is that you will see the fintech companies leveraging the technology and just combine them. I think that's where that would be. It is subjective, but that's how I see the world evolving. Is it going to be done over 3 years, 5 years, or other? I think it's another question. Now we at Checkout, again, you cannot be I'm going to joke about this, but you cannot be a fintech company and not having an interest in Web3. I'm fighting my own engineers that live in the fiat world that all want to go do Web3 and projects for Checkout, being in settlement in digital currencies, faster settlements, and there's the opportunity is immense. And again, I'm not saying that Visa, MasterCard are going to disappear. Certainly not. The same way that cash is not going to disappear. But we have cash, we have cards, and now we have digital currencies. And these are like three worlds. And like you said, at 1.6 trillion today, and I think it's a safe assumption that in 10 years from now it will be a lot more, you'll have a huge bucket of value that is there. And what's important is to create the bridges between the world. Like the same way that we are removing cash of this society, creating a bridge between Visa, MasterCard, and the traditional fiat schemes, and blockchain and Web3.